Alright, so I'm just going to test the brake lights and the reverse lights, make sure they work. Is that fourth gear or there we go. They do work. Sweet. Hop out of reverse. Alright, they're working. Did the brake lights work? Let's review the footage. Alright, we're going to do a little first fire. I've got the transmission and range selector just plugged in. It's just kind of hanging there. We're not going anywhere. Obviously the car is still on blocks, but I'm just going to fire it up. I have not loaded the tune on. I haven't even hooked the tuner up. I just want to see if it'll fire, and it's going to be loud. So I want to test the brakes and get some vacuum in the brake booster, and then I'm gonna run through the gears, see if the speedometer works and stuff like that. So I'll let you sit here. Cross your fingers for me. Alright, so all the gears work, the speedometer works, the airbag light's on for some reason, I don't know why, it wasn't on before. And the wrench light is on, which I heard that there's some stuff about that, but I don't have the tune loader down, so maybe that's something to do with it. But pretty good first fire, I think. You saw, hopefully, the wheels moving. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna figure out that airbag light. I don't know what that could be. Everything's plugged in. I'm pretty happy. I kind of just want to drive around like that for a little while, but let me tinker around here for a little bit, and you saw it. There it is. There's a 5-speed swap Crown Vic. So, all right. I just wanted to make one couple of finishing touches video here. So, I put the cats back in. So, put some new nuts and some anti-seize on the studs, and I don't have the H-pipe in. I took the H-pipe out. There's the mufflers back there. So I'm going to still work on the exhaust a little bit more, but I just kind of wanted to show you where I've gotten to. Cats are in. I zip tied up everything, so there's we're on the driver's side, so there's the rear O2s. I kind of zip tied everything up to the transmission. Here's the rear O2, up there is the front O2, and then there's the one stud and the other stud. So, and then on the other side I did the same thing. So there's our cat. And then I just kind of zip tied the connectors in nicely, and up there too a little bit more. I just zip tied that to the harness. So I mean, the only thing left is I gotta get this cover on. This I think that this threaded part stripped out from the junkyard that I bought it from. I got my clip in for the clutch, and this is adjusted. So there's just a tiny bit of play in there, which I like to do it that way. And then I'll show you the shifter real quick. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the shifter real quick. So here's what I did. Let me pull it back in a second gear. I welded on it's about a 2 3/4 inch long. This might actually be just a little too long, but it actually feels pretty good. But piece of 3/4 inch stainless pipe. This is solid steel, so I cut right through here, and I left a little bit of, you can see how it kind of tapers down here, so I left that alone. It's a pretty bad weld, but this is, I don't know what kind of steel this was. I'm trying to weld mild steel to stainless, and it didn't really work too good, but it'll be fine, you know. But because before we were hitting the dash, but now we're got some room, you know. It's got about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches or so. The only other thing is I can't really use the cup holder anymore, so I'm going to have to come up with something else. But yeah, it's pretty good place. So that's the shifter, and I think we're going to take it off the jack stands now and just take it around the block. I think we're ready to do that. Oh, one more thing I did was I put the under here I zip tied that right there. What I did was I bolted it back on the automatic, aligned it in the neutral marks, and then I just kind of zip tied it up to the transmission. There's like a mounting ear that I zip tied it to. So I'm gonna try and see if the cruise control works. Alright, I'm gonna take it off the jack stands now. Oh, so I just wanted to just kind of go over I've seen people do this with a lift, and I've seen people do it with jack stands. I did it with, you can see, 3 2x8s with ramps, you know, and then I did it with 2 jack stands. That's all I did. You know, I had the car this high pretty much the entire swap, and the only part I had trouble with was getting the transmissions in and out. So what I did was I took my big jack and jacked up the front of the car by the aluminum subframe, just, you know, temporarily. I didn't get underneath the car. I just jacked it up so I could get the transmission, the automatic out, and then when it was time to get the manual in, I jacked it up again and slid the the manual in on a piece of cardboard. So it can be done. And I didn't use a garage. I mean, I have a garage for parts, but I did the entire swap here in my driveway. So, you know, it can be done that way. ready to take this thing for a ride. All right, we're gonna see if it moves for the first time under its own power. Alright, it runs really good, it's super smooth. The tire light came on, so I'm going to check the tire pressures. I didn't know it had tire light. I'm a little worried the mufflers are hanging like that, so I don't want to drive it too much, but it goes through all the gears and clutch is real nice. Maybe I'll take you for a little ride. I just got to get something set up, but for our first run, she runs good. Alright, just a little bit of follow-up. Forgive the noise, it's raining out. BP builds. This is the manual swapped 5-speed Crown Vic. I'm getting the error that I was hoping I wasn't going to get. It seems to be behaving right now, but after driving it around for a couple days, I've got plates on it, and it's registered and everything, so we're legal. But I am getting that engine shutdown that Pierre talks about in his 05 Plus video on YouTube, and I'm shooting the gauge cluster right now. I'm in 5th gear, and what happens is the wrench light turns on, the traction control light turns on, and the engine will just die, and you're just kind of coasting. So what I've been doing, just to get me home from work, it started doing it on the way to work, is I just leave it in gear with the clutch up, and the engine's locked to the wheels, so if the wheels are turning, the engine's turning, so I just turn the ignition key off and then turn it back on real quick, and that allows you to drive a little bit farther until you get the code again. It seems to be, well, not the code, but until you get the shutdown again. It seems to be, there it goes, see, it just did it. So it seems to be, if I step on the gas, my foot has been on the gas, and the lights went on, so if I take my foot off the gas, like I just did, now the engine, I got my foot to the floor on the gas pedal and the engine is dying, and you can hear the car slowing down. So I'm going to turn the ignition off. Now I have no power, well, I got power steering because I'm still in gear, but I'm going to turn the ignition on, and our engine is back on again, and I can get a little bit farther. So this is the way I'm going to drive home, but I just kind of wanted to show you that I think it's called the TSS, or there's a sensor on the automatic that the manual doesn't have, that isn't plugged in, and when I get home I'm going to have to do that modification that Pierre does, where he links the two wires together at the ECU. So I just want to kind of get home so I don't have to keep fighting this. But oops, light turned green. Hang on, we're in traffic here, so hopefully our engine doesn't die at the light. Yeah, just did. We just died. Let's go. That guy's looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with you? Oh well. Fourth gear. Now we're getting to fifth gear here. Oh, our engine just died again, see? But I haven't taken my foot off the gas. And the engine's still running, so I think it has something to do with the throttle position returning to zero, because the engine is still on. You can hear it running, so I think it might be when you take your foot off the gas, then you're truly dead. But as long as traffic behaves itself, I should be able to, well, we'll see how far we can go, but those are the lights we get. And another thing I noticed is, if I try and click the traction control button here, that doesn't work. So I'm gonna, the light's supposed to turn on, and it's not, so I think that has something to do with it. Yeah, so it's still running, but if I take my foot off the gas, I bet you it'll, there, see, you heard it just die. I took my foot off the gas, and now, that's it, we're done. But if you just pulse the key, the lights go out. Let's see if cruise works now. There it goes. Now we got cruise control. So cruise works. I'm hoping that when I do this modification, my cruise control will still work when I link those two wires together at the ECU. I'll go over that when I do it, but I'm just trying to get home. Our engine just died. Off on. Let's go. Come on. A little bit of a supplement to Pierre's video. This is the fix, or this is what we're trying to fix in Pierre's video. See, our engine just died again. Let me close our exhaust all the way. There we go, but you kind of get the idea. All right, we made it home just by doing our key off, key on trick to get the engine started again. But the next thing I want to fix is when you step on the brake, if you can hear, and you can feel it, if I put my hand on the steering wheel, there's a little solenoid that's clicking, and I think what that is in order to shift out of park, you have to have your foot on the brake. And I think that, but we don't have park anymore, we have 5-speed, so I think what that's doing is just clicking the solenoid so I can shift out of park. But I think to fix that, I'm going to take the steering column covers off, find that solenoid, and I'm just going to unplug it. I think that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully that'll work. So the things I've got to do is do the ECU fix and also the solenoid disconnect, and we'll try and get into that a little bit. Okay, we made it home with the car. There's our shifter there. I just got a shift boot in, so we're going to put the shifter boot in. So there's that, and then I welded on about a 3-inch extension. This is the stock Mustang GT shifter that I just extended back. But anyway, I took the steering column cover off. There's 3 little screws. They're 5.5 millimeter. You'll see them. They're on the bottom here. But this is the plug I think we got to disconnect. So I'm gonna put the key in and turn it to on. All right, now it's on, or run, I suppose, and I'm gonna press the brake. You can hear that, so I'm just gonna take this little green connector and unplug it. And now I'm gonna press the brake. And the noise is gone. So when the engine still starts, we're in neutral. Yep. Sure does. No more clicky click. So I think that's the shift lockout solenoid right there. So I just unplugged it, and we're just going to try and leave it unplugged. Maybe I'll zip tie this up to this connector or something. But now I don't gotta listen to or feel that clicking every time I step on the brake. So that's fixed. Next we're gonna go underneath the hood and do the ECU wiring fix so that engine doesn't keep dying on us. Okay, now we're gonna do the ECU fix that Pierre does in his 05 Plus video. We're underneath the hood here. Here's the ECU/PCM. We're gonna leave the middle connector just plugged in. You need this large one on the far driver's side, and then you need the left one, the one on the passenger side. So on the big connector, you're looking for, like Pierre says, it's going to have the yellow electrical tape on it, like this one, and that was wrapped around here. And you look for a pair of wires that are taped together. You can see there's the electrical tape, and it goes up, and you can actually see if you peel the tape back, there's a little bit of a shielding. So there's some shielding with those spare those little wires sticking out. That's a shield. So what I did was the two wires that are tied together with electrical tape are a black with a pink and a gray with a yellow. So you want the gray with the yellow. So what I did was I snipped it, and then I just soldered on, maybe 1.5 inch extension, and then I tied those together. So we've kind of just extended that wire, and then we're gonna use our fuse holder here. This is just an inline fuse holder. I just got it at AutoZone. Eaton ATC, whatever. So we're going to connect one end of it to there, and then the other end. So what we're doing is on this connector, you're looking for a dark green with a white stripe. So I did the same thing. Dark green with the white stripe. So I snipped it, and I soldered on 1.5 inch extension. What we're gonna do is connect these together. I mean, I guess I could just take solder them together, and that would do the same thing. But Pierre says put a fuse holder in, so we'll put a fuse holder in. I think that's a good idea. I don't think that'll hurt anything. And it'll be nice because if I ever had to undo the work, you would just pull the fuse. I'm not sure why it would need to, but so we're just using the crank sensor to send signals to both wires on the ECU. Okay, we're all done. I kind of just got everything back together. I taped stuff up. Here's our fuse holder, nice and secure, just like Pierre did it. I put the yellow tape back on, even though it's not sticky anymore, but that's it. You can't really even tell that I did the modification. I'm going to go to the junkyard right now because the headlight retainer, there's a ring that clips onto the headlight that's broken, so my driver's side headlight's kind of falling out if I go over bumps. So I want to get one of those, and I'll drive it to the junkyard and see what it does. But we're going to hook up our battery, and then we're going to take it for a spin and see if we get that engine shut down, which hopefully we don't. I also put that engine cover on. That didn't come with the car. That was like $35 on eBay, and I flushed the coolant. I put a new brand new coolant, brand new thermostat in it, and we're pretty much good to go. I'm going to do an inspection and an alignment. So before I do that, I'm going to replace upper control arms, lower control arms, sway bar links. I already did the sway bar bushings. I put Moog blue ones in. Those are brand new bushings, but I'm going to do the lower control arms, upper control arms with the bushings in them, with the ball joints in them, and inner and outer tire rod ends, and that'll pretty much, we'll have a brand new front suspension, and then we'll take it for the alignment, especially after I lowered it with the cutting the coil of the spring out. So that's it. I'll tighten the battery up and see if she starts. I just also wanted to do a follow-up on the clicking brake pedal solenoid fix. So that's all fixed with no other issues, so I think we fixed that. And then we did the ECU fix where we followed Pierre's instructions to jump the crank sensor to the TSS sensor, and the engine has not done the engine shutdown yet. Since I've done that, I've driven the car 127.4 miles. I went to go get gas, and every time I get gas, I reset the trip. So we've driven over 120 miles with no engine shutdown, so I'm going to call that fixed.